All right, everyone. We are nearing the end. We are nearing the end. I just want to say again, big ol' heart goes out to all of y'all. No, I'm acting very strange because I want to get a very clear message across in the beginning of this video before I start. And actually has to do with the love section that I put in the last part. Love section, the part where I talked about finding love is easy, and a specific comment I got. And don't worry, he's not in trouble. Not calling him out. It actually inspired me to say this. So, without further ado, welcome back to another part. Let's hop in, waste no more time because I'm going to yap for a bit in the beginning. Remember to love yourself. Remember to truly love yourself. Be authentically you. Trust. And I think you guys are going to like this intro if you're someone that struggles with being themselves a little bit. Anyways, I love you guys. Let's hop into the massive YouTube iceberg. And as always, shout out to Potted, Swag, and Elephant Man, and everyone else that I've met through this journey. Love you guys. Let's do this shit. Okay. So if you do not want to hear me yap at all, then skip this part. But if you do want to hear me yap, I want to talk about a specific comment that I got on the last video. This individual, not going to say the name, you go read the comment if you'd like. I just, keep some anonymity. I can't really agree with the idea that getting into relationships is easy. I grew up still struggled with social anxiety and low self-esteem. I've always been terrified to be myself around other people, especially never to where I could have gotten into a close relationship with anyone. I felt like I should leave this comment to make sure that people know it's not always as simple as just being. Some people hate themselves so much that they don't feel like a person. Now, what I want to say to this is thank you for your comment, and you're not in trouble. I'm not calling you out, but this is exactly what I mean. Perception is everything, and mindset is everything. Your mindset. I have dealt with analysis paralysis my entire life, so bad to the point where I overthunk so much that I could not get out of bed. Mind you, I also had things that I would deem social anxiety and everything like that, because I'm going to explain my childhood just like I did in this comment. If many of you don't know, it doesn't feel like it's too personal to expose this part, but my mother had a bit of an abusive boyfriend when I was younger. He burned me. I was burned very young, so I was quote unquote abused by a guy, but for a day. Very young. There was a lot of stuff with, I think, like there was people in suits. I'm assuming that was like CPS or something like that. I don't know, but I was burned. This dude ran me under boiling hot water for some really dumb thing. I grew up not being able, and sorry that I should put a trigger warning. Okay, so I just cut that part so I could put a trigger warning because I thought, okay, maybe I should put a trigger warning. I could not talk to people. I need you guys to understand that. The people that meet me now and that feel like there's just something different about me in this aura and all of this, it comes from the past that I had. It comes from the things that I was meant to go through in this life so I could grow into the individual I am now. And I'm here to tell you that for at least what I went through, and I know everybody's situation is a little bit more nuanced, mindset is everything. I could still be that incredibly shy kid that is afraid of people. And a part of me, that shy kid is still in there. But you know what I did? I went within myself and gave him the love and the honor that he deserved as a kid. And now I got a lot of love as a kid, but I had bullies. When we went to restaurants, this is what I said to the comment. I couldn't even order my own food. And I'm telling you, some of like my being quiet, especially in a black household, let me just tell you, is not so simple. Just being quiet and not being more confident and like being a man was a thing, because for me, I was somebody who was very emotionally expressive very young. I wore my heart on my sleeve. And I think that plays into why I'm so emotionally intelligent now. A lot of my friends, or people I would say are good friends or were good friends of mine, come and go. were women, because I don't know. There's this part of me that on their side makes them feel very safe with me, which is also why I said what I said in the last video too, because it really is you giving that love to yourself and being able to express your emotions and be vulnerable and not take on this frame that's like, you got to be a man, because that was me. When I was a kid, I definitely wasn't a man, bro. I wasn't a man. And no one expects a kid to really be a man that fast and grow up that fast anyways, but it was more like turning a boy into a man. I didn't really resonate with that whole thing. It was just, it felt odd. And anyways, long story short, because we can go all over the place. I couldn't speak. I literally couldn't speak. When we were eating that nasty ass McDonald's, when we would go in to get McDonald's, and my stepdad would be like, go order the food. Dude, I would sit there like this. Like, nah, I'm good. Or I'd just go, nah, I'm not hungry. I was frozen. But because of a little bit of exposure therapy, as the years started to come on, I got way better. Facing rejection, understanding that like not everyone's going to like you, which is something I still fumble with a little bit now today, because being a content creator is totally different. Or just putting yourself out there online anyways is just way different. You open basically Pandora's box to be judged by absolutely anyone and everyone who only gets a glimpse of you in a video and thinks sometimes that they know the full you. So trust, this has been a learning experience, and one of the best ones, because I think it made me even wiser than I was already perceived when I was younger. So I tell that story to say that mindset and perception is everything, because of how I'm perceived now. Like when I returned home from being away from home for a while, my stepdad couldn't even recognize me. He asked me to run in the store one day. I think this was a real heart-to-heart moment for him, and I don't even think he realizes it, but maybe it was just for me to realize, where he told me to go in the store and get him something, but he was just playing, because like I'm literally like 24, but I just thought he was serious. I didn't really mind. I'm not doing anything. This is like year 4 of having a spiritual awakening, so I'm just like, all right, I got you. I go to leave the car, and he goes, wow, that same kid, you change. You're so different, because that same kid would not have done that. Wouldn't just like lock up the second he heard, go get that for me. I'm telling you guys, I was there. I hated myself. I got complimented so much about being like a relatively handsome guy that I didn't know if people were just lying. Because other people, I have a lisp, if you can't tell. Some people said the way that I talk was cute. Some people think I can't even articulate my words properly. Some people think I articulate myself and speak very well and very confidently. Everyone has these perceptions of you. That's why I had to realize, when I had my awakening very young. I was asking at the age of 14, why do we exist? So these things brought me to the person today that I am, to be able to tell you that it's in you. The power is in you, no doubt about it. And if you don't want to accept that as a reality, you're just scared of yourself then. And again, everybody's life is nuanced, so I don't want to say that as law, but the truth is, if I could get through it, you could get through it, unless you actually have like some mental, like, what is it? The word I'm looking for, like genetic actual like disorders or defects going on within yourself. You can master your mind. Anyone can master their mind. We all bleed the same. And that had to be me. I had to stand up. I'm telling you, I literally would freeze. I couldn't even order food. Even when I had to buy things at gas stations, if I was with friends, I let them, dude. I was quiet. So it's funny that I literally laugh when people think I'm ENFJ now, or they try to say like, oh, you're ENFJ, or they say they throw all these titles, because it's like, but I was INFJ. Oh, but I was introverted. Oh, I'm an introverted extrovert. And that's why I say you can't put me in a box, because I've lived through so many different titles of what people describe me as. Oh, I'm introverted. I'm quiet. I'm shy. Oh, wait, but I'm very confident in this and that. And that's why I tell you, it's not about external validation. You have to validate yourself, because I understand that self-hate. I really do. I'm one of the people that really understand it. You have to turn that self-hate into self-love. No matter what trauma you've been through, no matter what anybody has said to you, you validate yourself. There's something within you that accepted these people on the external of you to have more authority over how you feel about yourself. And that's different for everybody on the reasoning why you did that. Because I did it too. But then I had to realize, oh, wait, I'm the genius. I am the I am. Even for some people who are religious, the Bible may help them with that. The I am that I am, you are the I am. You are the I am. I am love. I am whole. I am power. This isn't just self-help shit. This is literally what I did. I never read a self-help book to manage my anxiety or anything or get better. All I did was meditate. I've been meditating since I've been like 16, 17 in my room. I was doing candle meditation because I thought it looked cool from the like little karate movies and stuff I was watching. And then I started to realize, holy shit, candle meditation helps you feel the separation between you and the candle flame and also the oneness in it, the oneness connected with everything. So yeah, man, I didn't even know what I was doing younger, but I was on the right path to get to here. I'm not going to say all the same things work for everyone, but I just wanted to get that out in the beginning because it's a very important topic to me. So without further ado, all that yapping aside, you have to go within yourself and you have to validate yourself because there is a story that you tell yourself, and that is the reason you hate yourself. Because I know I used to be pissed at the way I acted. I used to trust, if I could go into detail, which I will. That's why I wanted to do the members only and do like videos where you would have to pay for, so I could really get vulnerable about my life instead of just put it in videos not behind a paywall or something. Even if the paywall is just $1, it's just like I want the real raw stuff for the people who really want to change their life, you know, to really want to change their life. But also, I've talked about it in videos anyways. Everything I say is pretty much free. You listen, you don't need anyone's video, any guru, anyone, anything, any self-help book, but it can help. All these can be tools, but the power is within you to love yourself. You have to love yourself. No one is coming to save you. No one can scream in your, somebody literally can. And having people around you that do support you make the journey way easier. It's still you. It's still you. Because trust, I've been surrounded by people that love me and still felt alone. So trust, this shit comes from the heart. So let's get into it. I love you guys, and that's just my message. And again, to end this off, nobody is in trouble, not calling anyone out. Don't feel, I mean, if you do feel triggered by this and you don't like honestly understand the message, then I mean, I think you just got more work to do, and all the best to you. But this should trigger you to want to live yourself. It should make your ego feel uncomfortable, because whatever your ego's story has been telling you has been keeping you in this trap of self-hatred. You should love yourself genuinely. Don't feel a type of way about it. Anyways, all right, I love y'all. Let's hop into the video. Oh my gosh, I cannot get that thing out my head, dude. The Weeknd song, and then it's like mixed with the Minecraft Steve, where it's like, ever since I was a kid, I am Steve. If I was you, I flint and steel. And chicken jockey ho. I need to retire, bro. Okay. Oh gosh, guys. All right, let's do this. Let's do this thing. Ever since I was a... Don't want to get copyright.
Hello and welcome back once again to the massive YouTube Iceberg.
Oh, I think I noticed the background before, right? I'm tripping. It's because we're at the God tier.
This is the penultimate episode of the series. I really thought I'd make it this far. It's been a crazy ride, and I can only thank you for joining me on this journey. Today we're going to be finishing up tier 11, and
I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, I did not divide this tier up very well, did I? Wow.
What? I love how like the color blocking, I guess I'm gonna call it, really shows the injustice you did over here. Literally could have split it right down the middle. Nice job.
Let's waste no time then. Thank you to Soupy, Retro Tome, Ezra Valenti, Shroomish, Salute to the Lost, Venus Scarf, Snail Demon, Terminator 900, The Mungler, Baggers of Swaggus, Original Blood Unfunny, 80 Constant, Queen of Guaga, Hollowed, and the Biggest of Men, and everyone else on Patreon for supporting me. With all that out of the way, let's get into this.
Silky.
This is the channel that no longer exists, deleted for whatever reason in the past 3 years. This is something that happens often and gets progressively more annoying to deal with as we reach the end of the iceberg. I'm kind of going to be needing to pick up the pieces here and there from Reddit threads and re-uploads and shit, and people like to make a lot of stuff up about the channel, so forgive me if I get anything wrong. Silk F, also known as other names such as Conjunction 27, Reptile 666, and Venus Argo, was a channel that existed on YouTube from the very early days. They initially would attract attention to themselves by going to videos from music artists and commenting disparaging things about their music, saying that their own music was so much better. They mainly focused on Aphex Twin videos, but they also did the same things to videos by Poppy, and probably others as well. Honestly, a very Spudrusian way of doing things, but the difference was that I'm not really sure if Silk F was trolling or not. I'm also not even really sure if Silk was the person commenting these, because she's known to have a lot of alternate accounts, and again, everything is fucking deleted and I have to take random people on the internet's words for some things. The music they would post would be mostly breakcore and IDM, very reminiscent of, again, Aphex Twin. That stands for intelligent dance music, by the way. It's not like EDM, which is for normies.
Yeah, I was like, what is IDM? Thanks for the clarification, Swag. Intelligent dance music.
You need a very high IQ to understand this genre. It even got to the point where people even questioned if this was some alternate account of Aphex Twins, but apparently not.
Whoa, Mandela effect is quantum modification backwards? What is all this?
No, and this is just some woman who happens to enjoy making music in this style. And her music, while it isn't always the kind of thing I listen to, is pretty well made.
I really like this song by her, Dancing with a Ghost. You should definitely check out what remains of her music. It's not actually bad, yeah.
According to her, there have been prominent and famous artists who have told her that what she does is great. I don't know whether to believe her on that since she doesn't actually list anyone, but apparently she was an early collaborator with people like Poppy, Titanic Sinclair, and was even subscribed to by a pre-fame Grimes. Music isn't the only thing she would post. Sometimes she'd just upload videos about her interests. Stuff like anatomy, black magic, and just other random shit. Her channel had thousands of uploads before it was deleted, in a very disorganized Mindstream style of uploading. Now, the channel was not without its detractors. Many accused her of being a troll, hating on her music, or calling her a Satanist or stalker, or many other names. I don't really know why she got so much hate, but this wasn't exactly good for her mental health. I know I bring up people being possibly schizophrenic a lot in this series, but I do feel like that applies here. There are old videos of her freaking out over gang stalkers and interdimensional entities, and the online harassment certainly didn't help. It was apparently enough for her to completely abandon her YouTube channel and delete all of her videos, leading to much of her videos, including some of her music, to be lost to time, which sucks, it really does. As always, I can only hope she's doing better nowadays.
Thrift shop.
My line of work.
I swear it looked like thrift shop Socrates. All right.
Shop SD Cards is a channel from 2014 with only 2 videos and is, from what I can tell, another abandoned horror series. Or I guess it could be real. Truthfully, there's not anything that's on this channel that's super unbelievable. The basic premise is that this guy likes going around thrift stores and buying used cameras and SD cards and just like seeing what's on them. The 2 videos uploaded are supposed to be 2 videos he found while searching, and both of them are from the early 2000s, around 2003 and 2004. IMG001971.mpg is a minute-long video of 2 teens looking at an abandoned school, and towards the end they hear a weird sound and mention a door moving on its own.
Wait a minute, did you see that? Did that door just move? Did you? Nope. Nope. Did you see that? Like, was that a door that just moved?
IMG_0001.mpg is about 30 seconds long and features an extreme close-up of a man's eye, as he explains that they are in his eyes.
I knew it. I was about to say, they're in the walls, they're in the walls, they're in the walls, but I was going to say, they're in the walls. And he literally said, they're in my eyes.
While it might seem creepy and unusual, it's entirely possible that this guy is just talking about his contact lenses. It would explain why his eyes are so aggressively beautiful. Something also worth noting is that this guy appears to have a missing eyeball, so That's pretty crazy. I could be willing to believe these were really found the way the guy said they were. They're pretty authentic, and it's honestly not unbelievable that you could find this stuff by looking through used SD cards. On the other hand, though, it's entirely likely these are scripted, and this is a horror series. Which honestly credits to this guy, because despite being abandoned and obscure, this is some pretty high quality stuff. I kinda wish we got the chance to see what more videos would be like had the channel uploaded more.
Swag, why did you ultra zoom in on the hallway? What was down there? I couldn't see anything. Was there like a door closing and opening? I couldn't tell. The Zeroth folio. Oh, whoops. See, bro, this text, we're at the end of the iceberg, and this text is still tearing me up. I wonder if any of you laugh at that. The Zeroth folio of Shakespeare.
The Zeroth Folio of Shakespeare is kinda fucking creepy. It's a channel created in 2017 and over the course of around 3 years, uploaded a little over 500 videos. Every video is the title page of a Shakespeare book, with Shakespeare himself being edited to look weird, and sometimes his face is replaced with just static. The video's audio are distorted voices reading Shakespeare passages, coupled with creepy ambient noise.
This figure that thou here fleet put, it was gentle. Shakespeare cut.
Every video is like this, though some do deviate from it a little bit, like something is rotten in the state of Denmark.
Ugh. It is just fucking creepy. Oh!
Or I have had a most rare vision. I have had a dream.
That dude became Shakespeare. Yo, this is actually
This clearly
pretty
isn't
solid.
a super in-depth ARG, but it's unique and does a good job of setting an atmosphere. Sucks that, despite its 500 uploads, it never really went anywhere.
Yeah, that sucks. It's still, the guy or girl should still feel accomplished for doing it, because it's pretty badass. I would say though, I seen that cursed Shakespeare image like on Google Images one time, so that's actually very interesting. Ah, yes.
What you just watched is 3D animated name.mov, an obscure animated video by Ice Blue Crystal Shadow in 2011. So I don't really know why this is on the Iceberg, and I don't really think the guy who uploaded it does either. In the description, he says that it was a project for his digital imaging class, and in the replies, someone brings up that they were brought here by Going Obscure, referring to his video, YouTube's Darkest Corners. Now, by skimming through this video, I initially came to the conclusion that this was where Potaplant got a ton of entries for this iceberg. Like, he brings up a good handful of entries from the iceberg we've already covered. Stuff that's even on this exact tier, like butterflies.flv, whythelongface.avi, and we kept driving. However, I got to the start of the video and I noticed something.
Many of these topics were found through the giant YouTube iceberg made by Redditor PottedPlant444, if you want to give them some credit for all the hard work they did to make it.
The giant YouTube iceberg, huh? By Pottedplant444? Like, not massive? I didn't know he made more than one. Also, that's not even the right chart on screen. I recognized it instantly as the one made by a Vargas, which was covered in Nessie Retro's video. Maybe I've been doing this YouTube iceberg shit for way too long if I'm recognizing each and every YouTube iceberg chart like this. Anyways, for some...
That's wild. I don't know why that was just cool to me. The fact that Swag was able to fact check that. What the
reason he refuses to talk about 3D animated name.mov.
3D animated name.mov. Actually, never mind, let's not talk about that one.
There's nothing wrong with this video. It's honestly the least unsettling video in the entire tier. The uploader seems to laugh at the fact that he was pretending it was so mysterious.
Yeah.
I think it's probably...
Yeah, was it like his own little trolling, like, agenda?
Meant to be a joke, but also, like, I don't know. I'm not trying to shit on Going Obscure, obviously. It's just kind of something funny to note.
It's funny because I would do some shit like that, so...
This video, the name of which translates to Bright World Fairies, according to Google Translate, is just this 3D animated girl standing in front of psychedelic visuals, dancing to some dude singing. People have pointed out that this woman's dancing is the Gary's Mod default dance, but as Richter Overtime points out in his Gmod's Biggest Secrets video, the animation is actually from a stock animation library, and this video and Gary's Mod were just pulling from the same source. Potted Plant tells me that this site is called Animinium. I don't know how he found that out, but I would trust him on obscure YouTube knowledge with my life. Yeah, I don't care about the Gmod animation. Where
That's very true.
Where is the rest of this video from? Well, this logo can actually be found on this DVD, Akarui Sekai. It has a My Anime List page and everything. Apparently it's directed by Soda Sugahara and Katsuki Tanaka, the former of which was also known for directing GD Fairies, a CG...
Jesus Christ, bro. They have some of the coolest names ever. Like I love, like, I don't know. I can sound very bad. I better be careful.
My anime list page and
It's
everything.
just the names.
Apparently, it's directed by Soda Sugahara and Katsuki
Soda Sugahara.
Tanaka, the former of which was also known for directing GD Fairies, a CG comedy anime, which is equally batshit insane and actually seemed to have a small fan base. There's bound to be a handful of people watching this video right now who's actually watched GD Fairies and is going down to the comment section right now to comment GD Fairies mentioned in all caps. Yeah, that's right, I'm talking to you. You're gonna die in 6 days. I appreciate Akuri Sekai because it's clearly just some guys messing around and whatever the fuck 3D platform they're using. And then they just sold it. It's 42 minutes long. I really want to watch it now.
And then they just sold it. The airport interviews.
Yeah, so this one was seemingly completely wiped from the internet. Supposedly the airport interviews was some obscure YouTube video that eventually got posted to r/deep into YouTube that had something to do with the 2016 Pizzagate scandal. Or at least that's how Potted Plant remembers it, but yeah, trying to look up whatever the hell this was won't result in much. Can't say I didn't try. My best guess is that it could possibly refer to the original audio recording of Death Grip's interview 2016. Essentially, this was a video posted by Death Grips in 2016, which was supposedly an interview with the band. However, the audio was completely replaced with a new EP of theirs titled Interview 2016. To this day, the audio that was originally present in the recording is completely lost. Fans have attempted and failed to transcribe it over the years, and to this day, they still don't know exactly what they're saying in the video, and the Death Grips 2016 interview original audio still shows up in various icebergs. That's honestly probably a gigantic stretch though, and I don't actually know what this entry is referring to. The video doesn't even take place in an airport and has nothing to do with Pizzagate, so I'm sorry, I'm fucking stupid, I'm sorry.
Clussy Daddy? Oh.
Hey, Daddy. I've missed you.
Bro, I know this. Okay, I mean, I know at least one thing from the top tiers, at least, or have seen images. I've said this in other episodes, but
Where have you been? You know what they say about big feet, right? Yeah. I want to be your boyfriend.
Yeah, so that's Clussy Daddy. This video was uploaded by Japanese Waifu in 2018, though it actually originated from an artist called Davio Falaveo, who does a lot of these homoerotic videos. Not really a whole much more to say about this one. It just kind of speaks for itself and has cemented itself as a classic of r/deep into YouTube.
that's crazy. Does that say Allah but with 2 ones?
Allah, with ones instead of L's, is a channel created all the way back in 2006. His most popular video is My Mouth is Open Because I Am Hungry. This video is some kind of food-related performance art, and it goes on for 16 minutes. Another video is Are You Ready for Love, where a man appears to be eating bits and pieces from a girl's cut open body.
Oh!
According to the description of most of these videos, the guy who posted these is named Eric Danger Clark, and he's a performance artist. This channel is like really, really obscure. The most viewed video only has like 2,000
Performance art is very interesting.
views, which is kind of crazy.
Performance art is very interesting.
Therapy has always been the
Therapy! Zygo Chen, I think, or Zigo Chen. I don't know.
Zigo Chen, or maybe Zygo Chen, was an obscure ARG that now
I think it's so funny when I say it and then Swag says it and it's literally almost identical. We're saying the same thing, or maybe thinking it in the moment of how it's pronounced.
only exists
Oh, it literally says Zigo Chen or Zygo Chen with some ARG I followed back in 2011.
through re-uploads and archives, particularly in this big video by Universe Twisters that has all of the videos of the ARG in chronological order. The description reads, Zigo Chen was some ARG I followed back in 2011 to 2012-ish. I don't know the whole gist of it other than some bitch named Athena doing some freaky brainwashing shit. Honestly, I just liked it because of the creepy shit. A few years ago, I downloaded a collection of the videos from some Mexican website, but never did anything with them. Now, knowing how cool the creep is and how lost this is, I'd be remiss if I didn't share it with y'all. They also linked to the Zigo Chen wiki, which doesn't even exist anymore. Every video is pretty much exclusively audio, with the video itself usually just being a static image. The story of the ARG is about a group of people who are trying to take down the British government. The mystique of this one is probably more interesting than the story itself, as it was completely lost for a while until this guy found it. Pitbull Lover 12345 is an obscure YouTube channel that I believe was first discovered on the subreddit r/RBI by username Broke. RBI, of course, standing for Reddit Bureau of Investigation. Wow. The channel is very obscure, and all of its videos have under 10,000 views, and it appears to be run by a severely paranoid schizophrenic person. Videos talking about how they see demons enter their house, their body is covered in parasites and maggots, and also ideas that they're not even human. They definitely show signs of poor health, but while it's what they believe to be gang stalkers or extraterrestrial life forms biologically attacking them, it's actually more likely that this person is addicted to methamphetamines, as we've seen with other similar channels on this iceberg, like Bob Hickman or Help with Advice. Drugs like that can do some real fucked up shit to your body. As of writing this, the channel hasn't posted in 6 years. This guy, in the comments of the very first video on the channel, seems to have done some digging into the subject. According to them, one of the videos on the channel accidentally shows an envelope with a name and address, and the person it was addressed to died in 2017. Granted, his last video was posted in August of 2018, but, you know, maybe they mistyped a year or something. Or it was just a coincidence that someone with that name died, and it doesn't seem like a very uncommon first and last name to have. To this day, we still don't know exactly the story of what happened to Pitbull Lover 12345.
Or Pitbull Lover 919.
919 Rabbit Bones, a now deleted YouTube channel that's incredibly difficult to find information about. The one Reddit thread I could find that mentions it comes from r/tip of my tongue, and they're asking about a video essay about the channel, about 30 to 4 minutes in length, and titled some shit like a disturbing YouTube mystery. Yeah, it doesn't really narrow it down there, buddy. Luckily, there appear to be archives of this channel's videos by Stefano Gerardo Della Pia, uploaded as early as 4 weeks ago, so thanks, Stefano. Anyways, yeah, these videos don't really seem to be saying much. I think this is another failed ARG. They give off somewhat of an interesting aesthetic, but like many others on this tier, the fact that it's so obscure is more interesting than the videos themselves. Okay, so this story comes to us from our favorite bullshitter, the fucking Tekkit Realm again. Allegedly, this is a Chinese YouTube channel that's live streaming 24/7 from the surface of the moon. In the fucking sky. Now, unlike a lot of other The Tekkit Realm videos, you can actually find evidence of this channel existing on the internet, because it's still up, although it's not streaming anymore. The last stream VOD they have up is pretty cool looking. Definitely fake, but it has a creepy atmosphere that you'd probably get from being on the moon. The channel was most likely faked by the Tekkit Realm though, to no one's surprise. People could literally find him creating the channel and subscribing to himself as he was making the video, and also, like, every other one of his videos is made up. You guys should know this by now. Still though, I think this is one of his cooler ideas. I always fuck with the moon. The moon's cool.
The red ring.
Oh my god, wow. Is it? I don't even know what to say about this
A Sonic.exe dedicated channel. That's interesting.
one. Pot of play, what the fuck do you have me looking at? Alright, so the red ring is the first and hopefully only Sonic.exe related entry on this iceberg. The channel started uploading in 2020, notably before the release of Friday Night Funkin'. So, you know, at least that's how you know they're real Sonic.exe fans. You know, some
A day before my birthday.
some real old heads. I'm not gonna try to talk to you about Lord X. The Red Ring is a recently founded organization that strongly believes in the powers and existence of Sonic EXE and the presence he has on our world. We wish to share his knowledge with the rest of the community. So yeah, basically, the Red Ring is a supposed cult that has formed a religion around Sonic. You know, the cartoon blue hedgehog that runs really fast and, like, collects rings and shit. Except, you know, he's bleeding out of his eyeballs. Most of their videos are somewhat similar to Elder Science Elementals, if you remember them from Tier 9.
Oh, yeah.
Or 8, or I don't fucking know who's keeping track. Something I neglected to mention is that this genre of video is actually not a unique thing. People will make these audios that supposedly have supplemental frequencies that do things to you, like make you fall asleep, or hypnotize you, or give you superpowers, or in this case, turn you into Sonic EXE, or Tails EXE, or Shadow EXE, or Sally EXE, or Silver EXE, or Eggman EXE. You don't even get to be a cool cartoon animal. You're just some, like, old fat guy. Why would you want to be Eggman EXE? What, does the video also teach you how to make robots too? Here's how to actually become Eggman EXE in real life. Wait like 60 years until you become an old man and then like peel your skin off. Rouge EXE was also always a funny one to me. Like, that's just Rouge but with black lipstick, darker clothes, and ear piercing. That's not scary, that's just something you'd see in the average person's Twitter bookmarks. Oh no, Rouge EXE, no, don't, you're gonna get me. Gain
Swag, what the fuck?
the claws of Sonic EXE. Sharp claws, EXE claws. You could have at least used a picture of him where he has claws. Like, he's reaching his hands toward the screen, but those are still Sonic's normal hands. Look, I literally scrolled down Google image results for like 3 seconds and found one where he has claws. There's literally an entire mainline Sonic game where one of the main plot points is that Sonic has claws. How did you fuck this up that badly? Anyways, after they put Scourge.exe out, really scraping the bottom of the barrel for Sonic characters there, they put out a personality quiz. I got the tortured, in case you're wondering. After that, there was some ARG shit that didn't seem to amount to anything, and then they vanished, and they haven't uploaded since 2022. Which is weird, because that's right when Sonic.exe was getting more popular. They could have made so much ad revenue off of, like, Friday Night Funkin' Kids. Although maybe the idea of mind-controlling little children felt too weird for them, I don't know.
Oh
yeah, no,
my
actually,
God.
no, that's probably it.
Oh
It's a more
my-
responsible use of a platform than the actual guy who originally created Sonic.exe, so...
What was that? Oh, whoops, I fucking did the wrong one. Hold on.
Kids. Although maybe the idea of mind-controlling little...
So this, don't trust Sir JC the Hyena, aka the author of once I found out he did. Wow. Ooh.
guy who originally created Sonic.exe, so I gotta respect it. PB is a video created by Magic Butter, apparently. It was uploaded to YouTube by SF in 2020, although the video was actually originally from 2008. The video, according to the post to r/deep into YouTube, features a person covered in cotton wool and duct tape walking around with a weird voice in the background. Now, the video has been featured in a handful of other places. It was featured on Mudahar's Deep Web Browsing, episode 44 to be exact. And also on an episode of Fine Bros WTF Did I Watch This compilation, specifically episode 4. Man, I always appreciate how deep of cuts they do in these videos, but also they do just like the most basic, creepy videos ever. Like the same video that has them reacting to Blank Room Soup had them reacting to Wiggle When You Feel Down, and the same video that had them reacting to Obey the Walrus had them reacting to Mr. Squillington. They might be greedy businessmen who tried to copyright the concept of reaction videos, but man, if they didn't know their YouTube. According to this comment left by the second coming of Lane Cruz, thanks to that guy, the video was actually created by Josh Kimberg on his site Magic Butter, which no longer exists. Surprisingly, Josh Kimberg and Magic Butter are actually mentioned on Wikipedia, which, yes, having a Wikipedia page is a pretty surprising thing for a tier 11 entry. The page they're mentioned on is the page for Bullseye Art, which is a super early web cartoon website / art collective from the mid-1990s that used Flash. And I'm talking about Macromedia Flash, before they got bought out by Adobe, and then killed by Adobe. Bullseye Art was one of the very...
Yeah, oh my gosh, okay, so... Sorry, I was actually laughing at the Adobe dying thing. Not that that's funny at all. But, then I get a message from my girl where she said, yo, if you need a possible video idea, Steam allowed these developers to release a game on their platform about SA. It's not educational or anything. It's literally about you, the player, RAing as many women as possible, including your own mother. It's called No Mercy. Holy moly. I don't know if I want to do a video on that. Let me quickly. I'm going to actually watch this TikTok she sent me really quick and see this, because that caught my attention, because I was like, what at first when I read the message? But, oh my gosh, what? Got to get more context, do my own research, but that's actually insane. Okay, it seems like the game is being banned in multiple places already, which good on Steam, because that doesn't seem like art. And I think anyone making any argument for the game being art has to be on a watch list. I've got no more words. I don't even know if I can make a video on that, dude. Like, maybe. But apparently there's a trailer out and everything. I don't know. Some stuff slips by through systems so weird. Also, I'm not gonna protect like a big company or anything like that. I can't say anything. People are completely entitled to how they feel with this topic, but I don't think it's also Steam. Like some stuff goes unnoticed that like I don't know. But that's what's weird too is like how do you I don't know. I'm just not in the background to know how Steam approves certain games. So I don't know how certain games get through a check system. But that's very odd. Like if by what the description of the game was, it's very odd if it is human reviewed by Steam. Then it's like I don't know. Screw it. Boycott Steam. I don't know. That's weird if you want to do that. But I just think Steam should just take it down, and I don't know. I don't know if you would even get a statement or something from Steam, but that is wild, dude. It's just a full-on essay game, dude. What the that's some shit. Told you, bro. Whether you believe it or not, bro, I'm telling you, we live in a simulation, bro. Some of the shit that's allowed to just go blows my mind.
And then killed by Adobe.
Nah, but y'all don't have to believe that.
Bullseye
That's my
Art was one of
schizo
the
stuff.
very first sites for art and animation on the internet. It's pretty interesting to go back and look at the actual animations they would produce, because they're definitely very unique and offbeat, as the Wikipedia article puts it.
I am fucking eating this thing whole!
The people at Bullseye Art were truly pioneers, using an animation software that not many were familiar with at the time, and one that would shape the fabric of both the internet and the animation industry. They even apparently worked on some pretty high-profile cartoon segments, like the opening titles for The Rosie O'Donnell Show, which was the very first Flash animation to ever appear on television. Bullseye Art shut down in 2003, but in 2005 the old videos from the site came back under a new name, being Magic Butter, created by the aforementioned Josh Kimberg, and that's where PP was found, even though it isn't a cartoon. According to his Flickr page, his girlfriend at the time was the one in the costume, and judging from the tense he uses in the post, I believe she's his ex-girlfriend. Also, apparently the video wasn't popular in the States, but was in Europe and Japan. Oh, and also the video was actually called PP. I don't really know why, but I don't really think you're supposed to know why either.
Hunter Hogan.
Hunter Hogan is a YouTube channel that seems to have existed since 2006, though he wouldn't start uploading until 2018 and 2019. Now, according to his channel description, he's not actually a YouTuber and is instead a disabled, impoverished homeless person who never wanted to be a YouTuber and only makes videos because support from his viewers has kept him alive. Now, the main thing that drew people's attention to this channel is his videos where he would perform surgery on himself. He does this, of course, because healthcare in America is very expensive, and doing it by yourself is the cheapest option, and you could even gain money from doing it if you upload it online. These videos are currently set to members only, so only paying customers can view them for themselves. Apparently, the first one of these was a skin lesion removal, and the second one of these was a giant tumor he had. It feels like the kind of thing that wouldn't be real, but it absolutely was. Now, this was posted to r/RBI, there it is again, and Hunter actually started posting in this thread and replied to a comment about a blog spot written about him. Basically, in this thread, people started discussing some sketchy things about the guy. He was formerly an attorney, and apparently was found to have been making sexual advances towards a 19-year-old defendant, which was a violation of legal ethics. And he also engaged in criminal sexual abuse of a 17-year-old, who was the victim of a CP case. Yeah, so possibly not the greatest guy ever. If you want a more informed and expansive take on the situation, go watch the Internet Investigator's video on the subject in the description.
So it makes sense why this guy didn't really have a life, huh? Homeless and impoverished. Sounds like life decisions, buddy. Crazy.
Carl Murcieka is a Malton YouTuber who I believe is on this iceberg for his bouts with chronic severe insomnia, one of the most severe types of insomnia outside of fatal familial, which is the type that Ricard Siagen had. He's been suffering from it for apparently around 5 years now, and he can't sleep without his medication. Now, I know I just said in a quite definitive tone that he has insomnia, as that's what his entire channel says. It's actually up for debate on whether or not he has some kind of medical condition. Not that he is lying about it, but rather he has something where his body is getting sleep, but he doesn't feel like he's sleeping. I don't know, it's a very strange situation, and also an ongoing one, too. Just 2 weeks ago as of writing the script, he uploaded a video talking about his polysomnography report, where the doctors said he slept normally, but he didn't even think he slept at all. So, I don't really know what to make of this channel. And obviously I'm not a doctor, so I don't really feel I can have a super informed opinion. So, moving on, I guess. You Can't Do That on Television was initially a low-budget, public broadcasting TV series from Ottawa, Canada, initially aired in the late 70s. It was a sketch comedy series aimed at kids featuring child actors, and it was eventually acquired by Nickelodeon and would become a popular series aired all throughout the 1980s. You Can't Do That on Television would become one of the network's first consistently aired series, far before they even started airing the cartoons that they're known for. It would actually contribute a pretty significant piece of Nickelodeon's iconography and branding, as this is actually where the green slime comes from. That's probably why the slime is green and not orange like the logo. But why isn't the logo green and not orange if they introduced this logo well into the series' lifespan? Like, wouldn't it make more sense? Whatever. You Can't Do That on YouTube was a web series that was loosely based off its television counterpart, released on YouTube from 2008 to 2010, 20 years after the original show had already ended. To my knowledge, You Can't Do That on YouTube was actually not affiliated with Nickelodeon or the original showrunners in any way, and it was simply a fan series ran by Sterling Johnston Films Canada? California? Kansas? Canada. Now, this series appears to have actually been a part of a child acting class where kids go to learn how to act so they could hopefully one day become professional actors. So the skits are pretty awkward and kind of just have kids reading off of scripts. The series actually seemed to have been passed around as lost media for a while, though currently every episode is uploaded to Sterling Johnston's channel, unlisted in a playlist. You know, with how this is technically a fan project of a Nickelodeon/Viacom property, I'm kind of shocked that the story doesn't end with a cease and desist letter, but I couldn't actually find the reason why they stopped making episodes of this stuff. I guess the cost for this must have been pretty high, but I would assume the parents are probably paying their kids to go to these classes. I guess they weren't exactly popular, but the episodes kind of just seem like they exist online for friends and family to watch, and also so the kids can put some shit on their resume in 10 years. This channel layout is fucking insane, by the way. I miss old YouTube. Johnston actually said himself that he did it as a response to public access local television becoming more and more obsolete. You see, I'm a bit upset with the way local television has gone. As a kid, I always wanted to have the opportunity to work on a show, but there weren't many opportunities. Some kids had the privilege, but not many, and now it just doesn't exist at all. There's no ground floor work for anyone with the burning desire to work in television. That's honestly a very noble cause to me, so it's cool that something like this even existed in the first place. Even when I was a kid, public access TV was just like local government meetings and shit. I don't care about that. I want some stuff that really represents the community the local TV station is for. You Can't Do That on YouTube definitely gives off that public access television vibe heavily, so I'm happy the format could be remembered in some way. Mother 3 is a role-playing game developed by HAL Laboratory, published by Nintendo, and released exclusively in Japan on the Game Boy Advance in 2006. Though it was never released in America, it's acquired a cult classic status almost on the level of its predecessor, Earthbound. Many consider it to be one of the greatest role-playing games of all time. The story follows a young boy named Yeah, I know, it's talking about the YouTube channel, not the video game. Mother 3, the YouTube channel, actually has nothing at all to do with the game, and mostly consists of a bunch of shitposts centered around this weird image of the Lorax from Dr. Seuss, and also even some horror content. Most of the videos are these bizarre edits that don't really make a whole lot of sense, and they get even stranger as you go in chronological order. Apparently there's an ARG to go along with all this, but I don't think it really amounts to much. It's just meant to be a weird shitpost, which it definitely does its job well. You guys are really excited to hear me talk about this one, but most people also hate when I go over the ARG entry, so I assume that's not what most people are focused on when they talk about this channel. It's definitely not what I'm focused on either.
Like the Lorax.
To my knowledge, there's absolutely no information on who's running this channel or why they're doing it. However, they've been uploading fairly consistently for the past 4 years. Though it wouldn't get a whole lot of traction until just last year, actually, when Twitter user MarzyBars did a quick deep dive on the channel. Except that thread got deleted because they were suspended, so fuck me, I guess.
I was zoned out for a big portion of that.
Yeah, you're gonna have to use your imagination for this one. I don't want to risk showing this. Pig Balls is a video uploaded by Xbox 360 Addy in 2010. It's an incredibly low-quality Windows Movie Maker slideshow with various images of pigs with giant balls, set to Sunny Day by Akon. It's truly something to behold. Even better than this is the remake done by Nixkip in 2019, which now has new images of pig balls set to All the Single Ladies by Beyonce. This remake is for some reason one of those 360 videos, so if any of you guys have a VR headset, I'm not saying you should go put it on and surround yourself with pig balls, but it's certainly an option.
It's an option.
Of the 21st century.
Oh my gosh. Animated profile pictures.
Animated profile pictures were actually a feature back on YouTube in 2006, where the site would just straight up allow you to upload GIFs. However, YouTube quickly got rid of this feature, and now everyone was stuck with these boring static images. However, for a very considerable amount of time, the picture would be animated as long as you never changed it. Timebreaker 1987 was an example of this, and his profile picture was a GIF of Crash Bandicoot running to the left. However, sometime 7 to 8 years ago, YouTube must have pushed an update, and now the GIF no longer works, and Crash is just kind of standing there awkwardly with his arms out. A similar thing happens on Twitter, where people with really old accounts will just have animated profile pictures because they last changed their avatars when dinosaurs roamed the earth. I'm kind of shocked that YouTube was the one to break this functionality before, you know, X, the everything app, blaze your glory. Like, really, YouTube? You're gonna let Elon Musk keep a fun feature that you got rid of? You don't mean to tell me you hate fun more than Elon Musk does, do you? Elon Musk? Really? Let the fucking Bandicoot run, man.
Yo, let the Bandicoot run. Indeed. Free cartoon HD, Free Cartoons.
Free Cartoons HD was a channel created back in 2016 with this Rocco's Modern Life profile picture that was supposedly an Elsagate channel. Now, currently, only one video remains on this channel, which is called Rocket Power Season 3, Episode 7, Tito Sitting, obviously meant to disguise itself as a Rocket Power episode. However, when you actually watch it, random clips of Rocket Power interspersed with these two young girls filming a webcam video, and also footage of the KKK lighting a cross on fire, all set to Beautiful by Christian Aguilera. All the comments are just kind of random people saying stuff like, lol, Reggie got owned on that half pipe, or this is so much better than that bullshit on now, 90s Nick is greater than 3. You know, just kind of pretending that this is a normal episode of
Why did they put Christina Aguilera? Oh, what is going on?
Rocket Power. All of these comments, of course, being posted by blank YouTube channels that were created the same day the video was uploaded or a couple days later. Weird. Probably safe to assume that these comments and accounts were made by whoever is running Free Cartoons HD for whatever reason. According to various Reddit posts made when more of the channel's content was available, the other videos would include stuff like 9/11 footage, Harlequin babies, animal sexual intercourse, and other various shock footages.
Lovely.
The whole thing kind of reminds me of Cartoon Incorporated, the fake Elsagate channel that Mama Max made up in his head, except, you know, it's actually real. It's so strikingly similar of a story that I'm at least somewhat convinced that this is where he got the video idea from. Although it probably wasn't made by a secret cabal of pedophiles trying to hypnotize kids into being molested, but rather just like an edgy prank. One that seemed to be very short-lived, since the channel only existed for a few days. The channel's owner probably decided that dealing with copyright strikes, YouTube guideline strikes, and also accusations that they're doing this to take advantage of children were probably enough for them to decide it wasn't worth it.
Audio preview for comments.
Back in 2008, for a very short time, YouTube rolled out this now super obscure feature where when you commented on a video, you got an option for an audio preview. Clicking on this option would read your own comment back at you with a text-to-speech voice.
If you wait a second, very cool. It should play back your text.
This is kind of a baffling implementation of this feature, and it honestly makes a whole lot of sense on why they got rid of it. You might be thinking, well, isn't this a good accessibility option? Like, I guess so. I'm sure it helps someone. But the thing is, it didn't work for other people's comments, and only for your own, and only if you haven't posted a comment yet. Why would they do this? I'm honestly at a loss for words. It's definitely the kind of thing that's interesting to hear about now. You know, I love the era of YouTube and the internet as a whole, when websites still didn't have what they wanted to do sorted out yet, so they're just kind of throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks. But yeah, very few people probably use this, and the feature was removed shortly after it was added.
It's a strange feature. You're already able to read it, so why would hearing it back?
Hello, old chum. I'm not a gnome. I'm not a goblin.
Yeah, so Potted Plant actually put this on here twice. Get gnomed, I guess.
As you've already seen in my other video, I accidentally killed a sunflower. Today I took my 2 dogs for a walk, and Xiaomei, the little black one, headed off on her own. The sunflowers, seeing their chance, moved in for the kill. A single sunflower assassin moved in first and crapped its way up Xiaomei's neck. Xiaomei began to realize that something was terribly, terribly wrong. I moved in to help her, but the sunflowers all fled before I could get there. But regardless, I was too late. They had already done their damage. They'd already made their kill.
And no, my dog wasn't really killed by a sunflower, for fuck's sake. I ran her over with my scooter. What you just watched wasn't actually what Sunflower's Revenge is referring to. This is a video called Sunflower's Revenge, but on the iceberg, the text for the entry is actually yellow, meaning it must be a channel. However, the channel has since been deleted with no known archive available. Now, bear with me for a second. I did a search for the text Sunflower's Revenge, particularly Sunflower's Revenge Reddit, because as I've already talked about, Reddit is the glue that holds all modern search engines together. Now, one of the 2 results I got was from this post on r/China, which is a BBC News report on war crimes carried out by the Chinese government on the Uyghur people. A now deleted comment was left on the post, and in response, someone says in quotation marks, "I swear guys, every Uyghur speaks out is just a paid CIA person, I swear." And then someone else replies, "That's what they all say in the pro-Palestinian r/BDS subreddit." And then another person responds, "So that's what Sunflower's Revenge is talking about while she takes pies to the face." What the fuck are you talking about? This comment got no upvotes or downvotes, and the guy he's responding to just kind of continues talking about whatever he was talking about, and doesn't even stop to think about what Sunflower's Revenge is even referring to. It's like when you're talking to somebody and you just say some insane shit to tell they're even listening to you. Except it's over the internet. I love it. But this also doesn't answer what Sunflower's Revenge was. However, I found another result for Sunflower's Revenge on unlistedvideos.com. People who don't know, this is a site you can use to store links to videos that channels have unlisted. Now, the Sunflower's Revenge channel has been terminated, so we can't actually watch the videos, but thankfully unlistedvideos.com provides titles, descriptions, and tags. The first one, posted in 2014, is called Sunflower Instructional Video Part 01, and is tagged with stuff like head creaming, pie in the face, shaving cream, shampooing, and gunge. Alright, so there's some consistency with the fucking Uyghur genocide post, right? They both reference pies in the face. The other video, originally posted in 2013, has a much more telling title and description. Hairdresser for...
Your digging for this is immaculate, man. I am so weak that you're tying these points together. What the hell?
Cindy and Courtney Part 2. This video is from my Facebook friends Cindy and Courtney. I hope you enjoy Hair's complete and total public humiliation Part 2. Hairdresser, a Facebook liberal with beautiful long hair, gets taught a wonderful lesson in humiliation by a group of conservative ladies. He gets his lovely long hair packed full of 6 pounds of Crisco shortening, has a pink bow knotted in his hair in front, has pink cake decoration letters spelling out the name we give him, Miss Shampoo Head, is given a face full of feminine makeup, is forced to wear a pink lady's outfit including bra, panties, and stockings, and then has his liberal head completely pied. He whimpers like a little girl and eventually completely caves in and surrenders like the liberal wimp he is. He is so vain about his long feminine hair that this is the ultimate punishment for him. Or should I say her? Alright, so, wow. Guys, I think this might be a fetish channel. Adding in the liberal versus conservative element to the mix is fucking hilarious, though. I still don't know why this guy brought in this random fetish channel up in a conversation, though, about genocide. Like, do they just, in these videos, do they just start talking about Palestine to drive home the whole leftist character they're doing? That doesn't really sound right, but I don't know, nothing about this channel sounds right. Now I really want to watch these videos to find out what the fuck this guy was talking about, but sadly they're lost media. If only the lost media community cared less about finding preschool shows and more about what actually mattered. You know, humiliation porn videos. What the fuck am I even talking about in any of these videos anymore? None of this means anything. Well, isn't that an edgy username?
Yeah.
Slave Nation 666 seems to be the YouTube channel for the now defunct website slavenation.com. From the Wayback Machines, it kind of seems like an edgier version of E-Bomb's World or something that had categories like blasphemy and thought crimes. Get a
thought out, artful, and cerebral invocations of existence.
Fucking grip, dude. By far the most viewed video on this channel is Boots moving up and down again, which features a whole bunch of grainy black and white war footage set to Taylor Holmes' reading of the poem Boots by Rudyard Kipling. Now, this poem, or chant if you want to call it, is meant to be very repetitive, and is kind of supposed to make you go insane if you listen to it for too long. According to the description of the video, the recording is actually used in SERE training for the military, which is supposed to prepare you for being a prisoner of war. You spend a week in a cage too small to lie down in, naked, being slapped around by douchebag shoe Navy personnel, waterboarded, and starved. And you listen to this.
But boots, moving up and down again. There's no discharge in the war. Try.
Oh, I've heard this.
Try to think of something different. Oh, my God.
I've heard this used, I swear, in something else. Like maybe like an indie horror game or something. There's like clips of this other places.
Me from going lunatic. Boots, moving up and down again.
I believe this has this many views because recently the recording was used for the trailer to 28 Years Later, a currently upcoming film.
Oh, yes, there too, yes.
That's the sequel to 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later. The other videos on this channel aren't anything particularly of note. There's
I don't have words.
this one called Slave Nation Death Bums where he makes some homeless people advertise the website, presumably for money. And
that's so weird.
also Slave Nation Pumpkin Snuff Film, where he pretends to execute a pumpkin. The channel is definitely a relic of the culture of the old internet. There's something about these old videos that feel super nostalgic, despite me never having seen this channel before. Like 2010, that definitely seems about right.
PK Temple of the Sea Script.
PK Temple is...
Epilepsy warning? Did I read that
nostalgic,
right?
despite me never having seen this channel before. Like 2010.
I just want to prepare you guys too. I guess also people who are watching me watch it have watched it before, right? I said epilepsy. I knew epilepsy. I don't know why I got so tongue-tied with that. Oh my gosh. You know what? I think I actually know why too. Yesterday, I engaged in the most disgraceful brain rot possible. Like literally incomprehensible brain rot in my Instagram algorithm. You guys wouldn't even believe how bad my algorithm is. Like 1 minute, it could be someone just singing, I don't know, expressing themselves, just chilling, you know, just being a normal, lovely online creator. And you swipe up and it's SpongeBob having Patrick bent over. Then you scroll again and it's fucking Crocodilo Bombirdo. Then you scroll again and it's like a fish just I need to retire and go back into nature.
PK Temple of Sea Script is a video uploaded all the way back in 2008 by Diamond X13. Nowadays, the video appears to just be a minute's worth of gameplay of a work-in-progress Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire ROM hack. However, for a couple years after the video had released, this video was glitched beyond belief. It displayed as only 4 seconds long, despite being longer than that, and when you watched it, this shit happened.
Oh my gosh. What the That's just
straight
like
up some fucking creepypasta shit.
That makes
According
my
to this person,
brain
Kanaizo on Twitter.
Bro, it felt like my brain was like horizontally revolving, bro. Like, I don't know, like some
who actually messaged me in preparation for me covering this topic. This happened as a result of Fraps, an old video recording software, mixing with the Game Boy Advance emulator Visual Boy Advance. Yeah, for some reason they create a digital Coke and Mentos-esque reaction when you try to record footage of your GBA games, and it creates this malformed MP4 file that YouTube had no idea how to deal with. Well, actually, not to nerd emoji this guy, but it was probably an AVI file. I know because I used to use Fraps to make Minecraft videos when I was a kid, and they would always export as these chunky-ass AVI files that were completely uncompressed. A 2-minute screencast of an HD screen may take up 4 gigabytes? Jesus Christ. And that shit was like $40 too. I got that shit for Christmas. Anyways, another example of this can be found in another video by AkvoD3, where he tried to hit a 16-hit combo on a cactus wolf from the Lorax GBA game. Kanaizo theorizes that the video data either underflowed or overflowed. The bytes that were meant for the video must have bled into the section meant for the audio, causing the fucked up static noise, and unrelated data probably bled into the video screen, causing the visuals to be all fucked up too. A similar thing is actually replicated in one of my older videos, funny enough. In Capture Test, I was playing Smash 4 for Glory and recording it with this weird capture card I got, and a few minutes in, the audio cuts out and the visuals get all glitched out, probably because I straight up took the file from the capture card and uploaded it to YouTube without editing it or something. I'm sure there are tons of videos like this all across the site.
Object thingy? Fluid OSD crystal?
Object thingy. Alright, so just getting it out of the way, this is tier 11's equivalent to the logo community, go anime, blah blah blah. You heard me say it over and over again. I also think this is probably the last one in the entire Iceberg outside of the honorable mention, because I don't see anything in tier 12 or 13 that really jump out as me as being from that community, but I don't know, maybe I'll get proven wrong in the next video. Okay, 1 second. Anyways, object thingy, huh? I don't think anyone really knows what this means. It was started in 2015 on YouTube by the user lolmanxd444, who now goes by Ice Cream Jaxie. I guess what happened is that at one point they changed their name to lolman the object thingy and created an avatar for themselves that was like their logo, but as like a BFDI object show character. So it's like a crossover between the logo community and the object show.
BFDI mentioned again.
Community. After she did this, many other people in the community would start copying her, changing their name to the username followed by the object thingy, and changing their avatar to a BFDI version of their logo, or a logo of an actual company, or even countries' flags in some cases. The videos people part of this community would be the normal, indecipherable stuff, like
there should be an epilepsy warning right here. Holy shit. Epilepsy warning, just in case, you guys. I don't know.
Applying various edits to logos on Sony Vegas.
My God.
It's just the Klasky Shupo logo. I swear to God, it's always the Klasky Shupo logo, isn't it? Maybe it's because they're fucking babies. Jaxie apparently said that she didn't want everyone to start using the object thingy name, but no one really listened to her, so she just kind of gave up. I actually got some level of insider knowledge about this community when I joined the Miss Adaxio Discord. A lot of the people there are former members of the object thingy community, and I don't think it's a stretch to say that the communities are at least adjacent to one another. I even got in contact with Ice Cream Jaxie herself briefly, and she helped me to understand what the hell was going on. So you could probably argue that the Miss Adaxio channel is an evolution of the weird edits that went on in the object thingy community, which apparently mostly died out around 2019 once they all, like, grew up. I mean, it started in 2015, and most of the people in this Discord are in their early 20s at most, which would mean they were likely, like, 12 or 13 when they were a part of this community. I wish I had more to say about Object Thingy, but it's just kind of what Logo Kids will call themselves sometimes. Someone on r/Internet Mysteries stumbled onto the Object Thingy community a while back, and they were just like totally confused, thinking it was like people exploiting the copyright system or hackers or an A or G or some shit. Like no, it's just kids being weird. Also, I don't think this part of the video is going to be like decipherable to 99% of my viewers, and most of you are probably watching or listening to this with like a glazed over look in your eyes. Anyway.
Yeah, that is what happens to me throughout the period of the. It depends on the tier, of course, but this episode specifically, I felt like I've been kind of like, just like absolutely disassociated watching the video. Dude.
Anyways, here's Klasky Supo Vor. Mr. Piggy Dies in 25 Dimensions is an absolutely insane and honestly avant-garde animation created by college student Josh Sennert in 2014, which won the grand prize for Cartoon Brews Student Animation Festival. I don't even know how to describe this one. It's 18 minutes and you honestly just need to watch it for yourself.
Liking and disliking simultaneously.
For a short amount of time, back in March 2021, it looks like you could like and dislike a video at the same time, and it would actually count both votes, so it wasn't just for show.
Oh, shit.
It seemed to be shockingly easy to do. Like, you literally just had to click one and then click the other. This must have gotten patched pretty quickly, as this is a very obscure one, although it also wasn't really the kind of thing that would have any effect on the site in any meaningful way. Like, you technically can recreate this by liking a video and then logging into another account and then disliking it.
Oh, yeah, literally. RG Jubilee? Oh, a Jubilee
RG
mention?
Jubilee, a channel ran by a nice Christian lady named Rosalie Graziano, is, along with Kathleen Daniel, possibly the holy grail of weird outsider art channels made by boomers. Her most popular video, with about 80,000 views, is Jan and Phil Enlow, Just for Kids CD animated by RosalieGraziano.wmv.
I love how it's Jan and Phil Enloy, Just for Kids CD animated by Rosalio Graziano. And look at the fucking thumbnail. What kind of kid is watching this shit, dude? Hell no. I would have saw that thumbnail and was like, what the fuck?
And it's about 32 minutes of these photographs edited to be singing. And while it's very much unintentional horror.
Yeah.
People would hear me say, I wanna be like Daddy.
Bro, this is some alternate shit. Some fucking, like yeah, bro, like some alternate VHS horror, analog horror shit.
Be like Daddy, 'cause if I grow up to be just like Daddy, then my daddy will be pleased with me.
That being said, though, Rosalie is actually a very multi-talented woman. Specifically, she makes a lot of homemade animatronics that are honestly very impressive, and she shows them off a lot in her other videos. It's a very impressive, albeit pretty niche thing to be skilled at. People seem to respect her work pretty heavily in the animatronics community, though that community still seems pretty small, even with the cultural impact of, you know. Going back to her original video, though, it would seem as if the comments were getting a little too mean to her, so she had to disable them. That really sucks, doesn't it? The Reddit army strikes again, I guess. Thankfully, it didn't deter her from doing what she does at all, and that's all you can really ask for.
Yes.
She still uploads to this day.
I'm glad. Rudolph the Tall White Alien.
Rudolph the Tall White Alien is a German YouTube user who started posting videos back in 2015. This guy is one of those crazy conspiracy nuts who believe that white people are not like other races in some way. I mean, that's like a pretty common theory amongst conspiracy people, right? Like, whether they believe that white people are superior, inferior, or somewhere in the middle differs between interpretations, but most conspiracy people definitely believe that there's something up with them. This guy, being a white person himself, even calling himself an Aryan, surprisingly thinks that white people aren't even human and are actually extraterrestrial life forms. I don't know why this guy blew my cover like that. I gotta get back my fucking rocket ship and fly back to planet Xenon. I'm not really sure if he's trolling or not, judging from the tone of his comments. He's also been posting stuff consistently for the past decade, and it's all a bunch of conspiracy stuff. But I still think he's playing a character. I don't know, his videos are entertaining either way.
Why is everybody putting up with ads like it's
Pie blocker? What? No, I was gonna ask you guys a question about ad blockers, but should we end the video on 50-50? We made it to 50-50. I'll go a little bit longer. Oh, a little bit longer. Why not? Kent G. Anderson.
Kent G. Anderson.
Actually, in honor of Swegwin doing too much, or too little in the last part and too much in this part, and not dividing it evenly, I'll go a little bit over, because I was gonna try to kind of cut it in half with the timestamp, but if we get like an hour in, so 10 more minutes, it'll be a little bit over. As a little shout out to your little ratio mistake there, buddy. No, I'm just joking. It wasn't really even a mistake.
Is a probably mentally ill man who runs a YouTube channel who seems to suffer from anxiety and
Kent Anderson, didn't mean to cut that. Weird.
And depression.
Poor guy.
He has over 1,000 videos uploaded, a staggering amount for just a single person. Most of these are short, nigh incoherent rants about how he has a vision for the future of the world and for world peace to be established. Nothing he really says makes a whole lot of sense, and it's a lot of word salad, similar to a lot of people with schizophrenia on YouTube. He also links to his website, futurevisionaries.com, which he claims is a company he is the president of. I will say, that's a pretty cool logo. On this website, he rambles about things like his vision of making a global platform of innovation, and for some reason, trademark disputes with Pet Boys. I don't want to make this out like I'm making fun of him or anything, but it's pretty unintelligible. Now, in his comment section, I noticed that there's a whole lot of Turkish people commenting. Granted, they comment pretty kind words, which is good, but it's still weird that there's such a high concentration of comments in that language when Kent's videos are in English. Apparently, they all come from this video by Turkish YouTuber Efe Idol, called The Man Who Has Been Shooting the Same Video for 14 Years, and yeah, I guess he kind of has been doing that, hasn't he? Sort of clickbait, because the title makes it sound like he hasn't actually taken his finger off the record button for the past 14 years, but he has been posting pretty much the same video over and over again. I guess this guy must have encouraged his viewers to shower Kent Anderson with love, as that would explain the high amounts of Turkish comments. Kind of like a more successful version of the spicy ham situation in the last part, but yeah, I don't know. I hope his vision comes to fruition.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too, like really.
You're probably familiar with the built-in membership feature on YouTube, where creators can allow their viewers to pay a subscription so that they get extra content, shoutouts, or just donate to the channel, similar to Twitch subbing. One of the possible benefits you can add is membership emojis, which can be used in comment sections and chat as long as you're paying for them. However, a while back an exploit was discovered that let people use membership emojis without being a member. And by exploit, I mean like literally all you had to do was just type out the name of the emoji instead of looking it up on the emoji search menu. Yeah, I really don't know how this one got past YouTube, to be honest. That seems like a pretty obvious oversight. It's not even really an exploit, it's just like a YouTube feature just like not working at all. By the way, I think this might be the last website glitch entry on the entire chart.
Oh, wow.
I could be wrong, and one of these channels or videos in the last 2 tiers are glitched, but I'm pretty sure this is the case. It's crazy how far into the iceberg we've come. Wait, this is fucking beautiful. Okay, so this video is called Bubbles in Blue Dream, uploaded by Monkey Grand all the way back in 2006. It's literally just a loop of bubbles playing set to An Ark of Doves by Brian Eno. And I don't know, something about this is just so like calming. Like it really just...
Literally, it's like a checkpoint in the middle of the iceberg. I love it. Or in this tier, right? Or yes, this tier.
Just puts me in a pleasant mood. It feels like it could be one of those internet checkpoints. Maybe this iceberg has just driven me fucking insane over the past 3 years, but it's honestly one of my favorite videos in the entire series. I mean, it's definitely helped heavily by the fact that it's Brian Eno, but also the way the audio was bit crushed so like gently. Does that make sense? Like it's a very tender and warm bit crush.
Right.
Again, I think I might just be trying to glean meaning from something where there is none, but I don't know. All the comments on this video are from 5 years ago because someone posted it to r/deep into YouTube. That means that this video went 13 years without cracking 800 views or getting a single comment. I can't imagine how it must have felt to have stumbled upon this video for the guy who posted it. The other video on the channel is Mirror of Reality, which is another video like the previous, this time with a mirror lens set to another song from the same album. This and 1AU from a few parts back have very similar and very pleasing aesthetics to me. Definitely some of my favorite things I've discovered through this series.
Jesus 888,
Jesus 888 and Father 58 are respectively the older and newer channels of this guy.
So 46 is a double of 23, tidally in 3 letters in the word poo, and P equals 26 equals God equals I am plus 3. Okay, and we would call this the number 1 and this the number 2. Put the 2 together, you get obviously a triple I am construct, okay?
He seems to be a pretty hardcore Christian, and the way he expresses his faith is by trying to prove the existence of God, with patterns in the gematria of random things. Gematria, of course, being the ancient practice of assigning a number value to each letter in a name, and like adding them all up, and trying to find patterns where there really isn't anything. Like, he's really obsessed with the number 3, right? Because to him, it's like the God number. You know, Holy Trinity, Father, Son, the Holy Spirit, and all that. So he just kind of looks for random objects and words and tries to make out God in them. Like, he pulls out a box of Cheerios and said Cheerio adds up to 63, which is a multiple of 3, so God's real. Or his headphones, or Doritos, or Brad Pitt, or even pee and poo.
Brad Pitt?
In fact, it's going to be I am times 3 plus 3, of course. I am times 3 plus 3, which equals Jehovah plus 3. Okay.
He basically has the exact same gimmick in every single one of his videos, all 8,000 of them across both of his channels.
He has 8,000 videos?
Most people agree that he's probably mentally ill. I hate to say that for like literally every entry, but a lot of the time that's probably the case. His internal logic probably works pretty similar to Gene Ray, you know, the time cube guy, where his pattern-seeking brain works overtime to find patterns from places where there is literally nothing. He stopped uploading 3 years ago for some reason. I assume he probably has a new channel somewhere.
Very interesting.
Yeah, it's another one of these. Backup Data is a channel that was active in 2015. Based on that video we just watched, I was kind of expecting this channel to have like 50,000 videos or some outrageous number like that, but it actually only has a measly 21. This channel, unlike the other WebDriver Torso-esque channels, actually seems to have some level of meaning to it. These ones and zeros don't really seem like much full screen, but when viewed as a thumbnail, you can very clearly make out a cross. I think this is another one of those ARGs. And you know, ARG adds up to 26, which is also what GOD adds up to, so... This is another one that has a lot of Turkish people commenting, but unlike the...
Oh, fuck, I hate you. That was great. So like you said, so ARG actually equals 26, which equals God.
last one, there's no kind person who's pointing me in the direction of a Turkish YouTuber who covered this. I don't think this ARG really amounted to anything, though. No one really seems interested in solving it, and it's coming up on its 10th birthday. It's also possible it's not even an ARG and just some abstract art. Whatever, I don't know anymore.
Maurice Harper.
Maurice Harper is a mysterious YouTube channel created in 2016, and over the span of about 12 days in July 2016, would upload around 3,000 nearly identical videos. Each video would be titled Lil Karen, followed by what appears to be keyboard mashing. The videos themselves are all around 3 to 5 seconds, and feature this guy sitting in front of a webcam just kinda doing stuff. Sometimes he's talking to someone, other times he's typing, but I don't really think he's cognizant of the fact that he's being recorded. Or he isn't, he just doesn't give a fuck. Lil Karen is actually his stage name, and he has a couple of songs released, so I assume it's getting that from some display name he has somewhere on his phone or laptop. The Internet Investigator actually did a super deep dive, or at least as deep as you possibly could go with something like this, you know, looking at his Facebook and shit, and long story short, she couldn't really find a good reason as to why he was making these videos. Maybe he was trying to record a video and it just kept starting and stopping again 3,000 times, and then he uploaded every single attempt to YouTube one after another. Yeah, that doesn't really make much sense, does it? I don't know, you can go look at his channel and make of it what you will.
Holy shit, him just scrolling down this dude's fucking channel is insane. Like, it's insane to look at.
I honestly have no clue.
The Epic Girls the Epic Girls S Daily. Or the Epic Girls Daily. Oh my gosh.
Epic Girls Daily is a channel that no longer exists, with very little of the videos being archived. The channel was geared towards a younger audience, and it was a collaboration channel between many teenage girls, similar to 7 Awesome Girls, except instead of it being run by a sexual predator, it was also run by a teenage girl. There's really not a huge amount of information about this channel, to be honest with you. I believe the reason this is on here is because of this person on Reddit, Nene Fun, who has put the Epic Girls Daily in a lot of their posts to r/Iceberg charts, as it was a childhood favorite of theirs, and Pot of Plant just kind of integrated that. The style of channel showing up on the Iceberg always has me concerned, but I don't think there was ever anything strange going on with it, so that's good. Their Instagram is still up, and it links to this channel, The Manifest Vegan. I'm not quite sure if this is one of the eponymous Epic Girls or the person who originally made the channel, but they seem to have rebranded it into just a solo channel.
You know, maybe that's cool. I think that's a good place to end everything. Hive mind training AI, guys. Do you want to make $10,000 overnight? You just have to buy my course. See, guys, I've been creating content for 3 years. Trust me, I'm an expert at this point. I'm going to show you how you can go from 0 to 100,000 subscribers in a matter of 1 week. That's what those videos make me feel. Oh man. Bring back the days of just like wanting to make content and be a content creator, or just post things or hobbies. Not for the sake of trying to make so much money. Oh, I almost exposed I thought I had those deodorant stains. Yeah, man, bring back just making content or just doing things online that are not a get rich quick scheme. But I won't dog on anyone trying to get rich quick. Yeah, guys, well, that is the wrap up for the video. I literally think I'm just going to get this video done, possibly upload it, and after uploading it while making food and everything and do my core day, I'm gonna come back and record the finale, and then the finale will go up. I don't know when. I kind of like to let the videos marinate, but I also like to upload. I kind of like when I upload frequently, but I also want to get these last two parts out before the finale comes so we can all watch the finale. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make an announcement to live stream the last part, and I'm gonna live stream it and then probably download it and then re-upload it as a regular upload, possibly, or just put the final episode and make like a video linking or directing you to the live stream, but the live stream will be in the playlist. It's kind of want to live stream it. I haven't live streamed in a while, so that'll be fun. Sorry, I'm figuring out what to do with my hair. I think I'm gonna lock it up again or do twists. It's time though. All right. Well, anyways, guys, take care. Remember to love yourself. And I will see you on the next part. Much love and Moonlight. Peace.